Alright, hi, welcome to part 2. Alright. So, it is, Wednesday, January 31st of 2024. God. 2024, man. It's a really big year. We've already went through 1/12 of the entire year, and already a lot of shit has happened. And the threat of multiple potential future conflicts have arisen. For America, at least, some of them domestically and some abroad. Well, some of the ones that for abroad has kind of been happening now for a few years now. And for the domestic one, I guess kind of also been been a couple of years for that too. So both kind of been happening roughly for a couple of years now. So yeah, that's that's fun. The main one, because of for the international one, I think the biggest cause and biggest scariest thing that's allegedly probably maybe going to happen let's just say World War III, or in the joke terms of Family Guy, World War V. But I don't know, who knows, maybe it might be so intense that it just skips over the other two. Even though, alright, look, we've already passed 100 years since World War I. Because as we all know, World War I lasted from 1914 to 1918. Us, America, we didn't pop into the war until very, very late. We were in the war for maybe, I don't know, a good 18 months. Because, the Germans, they sunk the Lusitania, and Woodrow Wilson's alright, the Germans attacked us, so therefore, Congress, do you want total war? No, I'm just kidding, not total war, but do you want to go to war, Congress? And everyone's like, yeah! I swear to you, I did not try to turn this into Joseph Goebbels' total war speech during the later stages of World War II. Wo bist der Tarnkrieg? Ja! Oh, man. Oh, okay, that's cool. Today in 1861? Robert E. Lee becomes Commander-in-Chief of the Confederate Forces. That's kind of cool. Yesterday, a lot of things happened yesterday in history, apparently. Okay, but anyways, before I get onto that little tangent, so yeah, we already passed the 100th anniversary of World War II, or not World War II, World War I, and we're about to approach 100 years since World War II, which lasted, well, It's kind of disputed the way how you look at it, actually. Some say it started with the, let's see. Yeah, there's just a number of factors. Some say it started when, Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931. Some say when Hitler became chancellor in 1933, which, by the way, yesterday was the anniversary of that. Let's see here. Some say it started when Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1936. And when Germany invaded Poland in 1939. Or when Germany invaded Russia in 1941. Or when Pearl Harbor was attacked by Japan in 1941. It's who's to say? But the most common and accepted answer of when it began was when Germany invaded Poland in 1939. September 1st of 1939, to be exact. And it went all the way until Japan surrendered in September of 1945 after the attacks of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So yeah, we're almost at 100 years to that. Although that's like... let's see here, like 15 years from now? Yeah. In September of 2039, yeah, that's when it will have been 100 years since World War II began. So that's kind of funny that I've lived through so far I've lived through the 100th anniversary of World War I, and that I will potentially maybe live through the 100th anniversary of World War II. I just hope, for the love of God, I don't live to witness World War III. I don't want to witness that at all. I really don't. All I can say is that one of the following countries is going to eventually provoke someone else and or a lot of other countries, like as a group, collectively, and start World War III, either on purpose or on accident. So the following countries could potentially start World War III. I'm about to list them right now. America. Yeah, I know. We could potentially accidentally... We probably already started World War III. Although it's hard to say. Although I low-key think that we probably did start World War III somewhere. Where? I don't know. But we probably already started it. Let's see here. Russia very well could have already started World War III when they invaded Ukraine back in 2022. We're literally about to go into 2 years of that war, by the way, guys. It might already be over 2 years by the time you see this video, but in terms of real time right now, when this is being recorded, we're just about to enter 2 years of the Russia-Ukraine war. Which a lot of people say that the war has been going on since 2022. Wrong. That conflict between Ukraine and Russia has been going on for literally a whole decade. Because back in 2014, Russia illegally annexed Crimea. And that's kind of where the drama between Russia and Ukraine kind of, like the modern drama of it, kind of began. And then Russia just kind of laid low, quiet, for like 7 years. Okay, let's see here. What's another country besides America and Russia? Oh yeah. Iran could potentially start World War III. Let's see, here's another one. Oh yeah, another big one. China could potentially start World War III. I mean, especially between us, China, and Russia. I mean, all three of us are like, adversaries. I mean, sure, some parts of all the countries might get along with each other, but as a overall average, we hate each other. We hate China because it's, China, because they keep stealing our jobs. Just like how we hate Russia because they meddle in our elections from time to time. China hates Russia because they invaded Ukraine. China hates us because of our economic war, because we have a larger economy than China. Because by going based on the two large economies, we're number one, and China's at a almost very close second. But here recently, from what I've been hearing, the US dollar is starting to fail, which is bad for us, but good for China. And then, but China also hates us because of how much we support Taiwan, and we kind of defend one part of China from another part of China. It's kind of like the whole thing back in like the 1970s when Bangladesh was trying to become a country. Because, back in that part of time, the countries, the Indian subcontinent, which houses India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and I guess also Myanmar too, which formerly used to be known as Burma, but we don't care about them for my point. My point is that Pakistan was broken into two parts known as East Pakistan and West Pakistan. West Pakistan is what's presently day just Pakistan. East Pakistan is modern day Bangladesh. So India and Pakistan hate each other through many different reasons, through cultural reasons, ideology differences, religious reasons. But also the problem is to have both of them have nuclear weapons. And both of them have fought each other damn near almost 10 times within pretty much ever since both of them became a country, for numerous reasons. And one of them was when East Pakistan thought that they were being completely taken control of by West Pakistan. Which, the only thing similar that those two have in common, technically, was that both East and West Pakistan were, like, Muslim. They had a Muslim majority in the population. And that's pretty much where the similarities end. So India, as a, the biggest Hindu country in the world, defended a Muslim country from another Muslim country. So yeah, that kind of happened. So that was my point I was getting at, to where America defends Taiwan, which is part of China. We defend it from China. Which is why, it must be 9 o'clock. Yep, it's 9 o'clock. Mom probably just got off of work, or is just now pulling up into the driveway. Well, luckily I'm on Mark Street, so all is good. Well, let's see here. My hands are like dry. Oh my god, dude. My right hand is like dry. I need to like go to the store, go somewhere and buy some like moisturizer. I mean, Walmart is always an option. They close in like 2 hours. Or then Meijer, Meijer closed in 3. So probably in terms of like time, Meijer's would probably be my better option. Because all the dollar stores are like closed. Or closing, I should say. Let's see here. Let's see, what's another country that could potentially start World War III? Besides America, Russia, China, and Iran. Oh, right. North Korea. But the thing is with North Korea is that they could potentially accidentally start World War III. I mean, they've been going rogue here lately. Even though North Korea kind of borders 3 countries, and they've constantly been at war with the South since, well, the 50s. Because technically the Korean War the Korean War technically is not over. It's been going on for decades. And it was the first, well, actually no, it technically wasn't the first major conflict of the Cold War, but it's like up there in terms of like the biggest conflicts. But it was definitely one of the bigger conflicts of the Cold War that we ever got involved with. So, yeah. Oh, let's see here. Any other countries that could potentially start World War III? I'm gonna say World War II. World War II, the main aggressors were really Germany, Japan, Italy, and really Russia. They were the aggressors in that war. I don't know. I don't know if there would be any other potential aggressors for a potential World War III. Oh yeah, NATO. Literally all of NATO. Literally almost all of NATO could potentially start World War III. But the thing is that they could see, the main thing with NATO is that NATO was created back in the Cold War, and they have a clause in there, like an article, and it's the very big one. It's Article 5 of NATO, which basically says that if one member of NATO has been attacked, then all of NATO is attacked. And with the combined forces of all of NATO, which has grown a lot ever since it was created back in 1949, it started out with 12 members, and now there's like 31 members now. Potentially 32 if Hungary says yes to Sweden joining NATO. Then, they would be full members. Just recently, Turkey said yes to Sweden joining NATO. The only country that has to say yes to Sweden is Hungary, which who knows when that's going to happen, because it took both countries a while to say yes to Finland. And there was like a video on YouTube I seen the other day. I keep scrolling past it. I haven't really watched it, but I glanced at it, and it said it was like the thumbnail was like Finland. It was like a chess game, and like Finland joining NATO is Russia's checkmate. Which is, more than likely probably true. But, who's to say? Okay. So I think that's all the major countries that could potentially start World War III. Now, it is possible it is very possible that World War III could start from something domestically, and then it will spread abroad. That could be possible too. But domestically, a major conflict domestically, which we're kind of almost dealing with, based on what's going on in Texas right now, is that there's the migrant crisis and the border crisis. Because technically, the federal government is in charge of maintaining and protecting national boundaries. So in this case, with our border with Mexico, with the vast majority of the border between us and Mexico, state-wise, belongs to Texas. They really don't think that since, the federal government isn't doing anything to stop the migrants from, illegally crossing the border, because, all right, let's just put it this way. Immigration has been a very, very big controversial topic in this country for, I would say, probably ever since 9/11. Just, especially, illegals coming into the country and trying to, bring in crime, drugs. And apparently nowadays, like, terrorists are secretly sneaking into the country. Like, people will do anything to cross into this country illegally. And what Texas is trying to do is that they're trying to stop it. That way, the only way you can get back into America, that the only way that people can come in to the country through Mexico, especially through Texas, is at the respected border crossings. Which, you know, is fine. But the problem is that people are not coming into America through Mexico that way. They're like trying to sneak their ways in, which is a very, very big problem in this country. Hell, I'd say it's been a big problem. It really started picking up within the last decade. Like, probably ever since Obama got elected and sworn in as president back in 2009. So, like, 15 years. It's been a big, major problem. Trump, you know, as racist and a bigot that he is, especially to Mexicans and Muslims, he actually, he actually tried. And, he had his main campaign rhetoric of, we are gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it all. Believe me, dip it in gold. It's fantastic. Yes, that is my Trump impersonation, guys. I used to be so good at it back in the heyday of COVID. Nowadays it's really bad. But anyways, Trump built on that rhetoric that he was going to build a wall to try to stop immigration. And honestly, I'd say that he tried to build it, but main thing stopping him, the only thing in his way in between him having the idea and getting the wall built technically was Congress. Congress was the only thing that stood in his way for that. For the first few years of his presidency, he actually got parts of it up. But, during, the midterms, especially in the House, that changed. But the Senate was like, okay, cool. We're here. We're still holding it down. The fact that, you had a Republican president with a newly Democrat House, but still a Republican Senate. Kind of like how it is today, but kind of flip it a little ways. We have a Democratic president, a Democratic Senate, and a slightly Republican House. Because there are 4 vacancies in the House. 3 of them were Republican. So, yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with the next Congress that will be elected in November. That will be officially sworn in January of next year. But yeah, anyways, immigration has been a very hot topic here in this country for, I would say, ever since 9/11. And really started taking into its full modern sense ever since Obama was sworn in as president in 2009. So 15 years. honestly, I think, what do I think we need? We just need to come together and forcefully, honestly, I don't think the federal government should have to deal with the border. I mean, if they want to, go ahead, but I think it should be left up to the states to deal with the border. Any border. Us in Mexico or us in Canada. Let the states deal with the borders, but have the federal government watch overhead. And if it gets too crazy that the states can't handle it, then let the federal government step in. But for now, I think it should be based on the states for the border. I'm glad you turned on your brights there, buddy. Okay. So we're practically in my part of Mark Street. So we're going to go ahead and end this right here, right now. So thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next episode. This is your life without Christ. Why the hell is it backwards?